It's week 3 for Miami, and we're not lacking with a look at the Tournament Edition Intrepid, improving the air quality on board your boat, and learning how to improve your boating skills. All that and a tour of the Beneteau Swift 50. Pleasure Boater is dead ahead. Welcome back aboard, ladies and gentlemen. Another edition of Pleasure Boater from the Miami International Boat Show and the Miami Convention Center. Hello again, everyone. Captain Ted Jones here with you, along with Captain Mark Henderson, who is the captain of the Liquid Fire Fishing Team and his brand new Intrepid, 375?
It is, Captain Ted. It's a brand new 375 Tournament Edition open.
Okay, let's talk about up front right here. I see way up there's an anchor locker, right?
It is. That's the windlass. They do a fantastic job right up front. Stays out of the way. Control it from the front or the console.
You're telling me the windlass is inside the anchor locker?
The windlass obviously is right off the front of the boat, but the windlass is inside that anchor locker right up front here.
Okay, and what do we have right here under our feet?
A front fish box. So it's well insulated. It's macerated. Large storage area. You can keep big fish in here. 30-pound king mackerels fit in there easily. Got a lot of area up front here to move from one side to the other, so it's fantastic. We've got some great rod lockers in that Intrepid has incorporated into the side of the boat. Well,
now the helm. First of all, we have a hard top up here.
We do, yeah. The hard top is amazing. It's a two-tone underside of the hard top. We decided to paint blue. Cuts down on the glare. It keeps it cool. And the T-top is an overbuilt, unbelievable product that they had on our other boat as well. It's got a ceramic coating on this. We used the brushed aluminum. They can do anything you want as far as powder coating or anything like that.
And nice electronics and everything built in right here to the helm.
Yes, sir. We've got the new Simrad NSO series that are going to be on this 16-inch screens, OP40. We've got the Fusion remote system on here, the Autopilot AP24.
And 3 Yamahas. How fast does this thing go?
This thing's about a 70-mile-an-hour boat.
Whoa,
it's
get
amazing.
Out there quick,
the triple 350 Yamahas have the torque and power and top-end speed to push this beast of a boat, and it's just the fishing platform and how this boat handles is unbelievable.
Couple downriggers over
here?
here?
Nothing like Canon Digitrol downriggers. They're fantastic product. Hard to go fishing for us without the Canons on board. I'd like to talk a little bit to you about the live well systems in this boat.
Yeah, talk to me. What do we got down here?
Captain Ted, first thing we've got is a 55-gallon live well in the floor.
This lighted.
It is. It's lit with the Rigid Industries LED lights in this boat. This is an 80-gallon live well that has an incorporated seat that you can pull out. So if you're slow trolling or whatever, be able to sit down, take a look out the back, relax. You got your drink holders, again, combination rod and cup holders up here. And then on this boat, they made it completely folds back, Captain Ted. Lit well with the Rigid Industries lighting. But they've gotten the lid to where it's completely out of the way, have access to your dip nets, just tons. You can keep, we've kept 5-6 dozen runners in here, blue runners, goggle eyes, no problem whatsoever. Live an entire day and can put them back in the bait pen and use them for the next day of fishing, quite honestly.
Pleasure Boater is being brought to you by Glendenning Marine Products. Relax, we're on board. And by Cushies, built for the outdoors, but beautiful enough for the indoors. And by Pegasus Thruster, freedom to fly. All right, now speaking of rigid, saw those lights on the Liquid Fire Intrepid boat. Well, they've been a leader for many, many years in LED lighting on Jeeps and everything. Now they're in the marine business. They got docking lights. They got lights like this. They have underwater lights. And now, Chris, what have you got right here for us?
So what we got here, we've got 2 different types of spreader lights. This is our SRM series. We've got a flush mount version as well as a bracketed mount version. So for spreader light applications, as you saw on the Liquid Fire boat, they actually use our SRQ lights, which are a little bit bigger than this, but for a spreader light application, these are great replacements or OEM upgrades for spreader light, for the back deck or for the front deck. So.
And in the underwater lights, you've got them in many different colors.
We do. We've got, this is our A series underwater light. It comes in a blue, green, red, or amber, and obviously a cool white. We've got, this is a bright white here, our cool white version. Then we come down to our Wake Flame SXL. This is our bigger underwater light. This is a 9,000 lumen underwater light, puts out a ton of light. The best thing about these lights, every one of our lights has a lifetime warranty and over 50,000 hours of burn time on our LEDs, so it's a great light for the money. So.
Now, some of these lights are specially treated for saltwater. Explain that.
They are. This actual light has a triplex coating, much like our white marine lights. What it has is it's an aluminum housing with an iodine coating, and then it's powder coated over top of that. So it's treated to go against that harsh environment of saltwater, so they don't corrode, they don't have any problems there, and it's a very tough, very durable light. So.
But now, if you're not in saltwater, you're in freshwater, you can save a little money by getting the one that's not coated.
You can. We have a white housing or a black housing in the A-Series lights, just depending on what your applications are. My boat personally is black, so I've got black A-Series in my boat. Some guys have white ones, so you can do either housing that you want, and you can save about 20 or 30 bucks per light there.
Okay, if they want to know more, you have a website they can go to?
We do. It's rigidindustries.com. Go to the marine tab, and you can see all of our marine products and check out all the new stuff.
Okay, they're into the marine business now. Rigid Lighting, been known for many, many years. This product profile is about Island Boats, the biggest little boat on the water. Normally tows at about 7 feet 4 inches, but it expands out to 10 feet wide, giving you a lot more space. It's one of the best buys per square foot there is in a pontoon boat. But take a look at the pontoons. See how they're shaped entirely different? They're shaped for performance. Most boats won't do that. You have to have a tri-tune in order to get that kind of performance. It also tows a lot easier, stores in your garage when it's collapsed down to 7 feet 4 inches.
Nothing's more precious to a boat owner than a safe and carefree day on the water. Day after day, Intrepid is relentless in the pursuit of quality, reliability, and safety of our custom powerboats. This passion for perfection and our highly personalized customer care has earned us our reputation for the best boat owning experience in the industry. Intrepid's revolutionary transverse stepped hull design delivers an incomparable smooth, dry ride. To learn more about the new Intrepid models from 24 to 47 feet, log on to intrepidpowerboats.com.
Welcome back aboard Pleasure Boater. Well, a lot of you have been watching the show for a number of years. That's how Captain Ted got his license. So I thought I would bring you up to date on that. I went to sea school. Believe me, they're probably the best in the business because they teach it to you in about 9 days for an OUPV, right?
It's actually 6 days, 54 hours of class time, 2 3-day weekends. We do have some 2 Friday, Saturday, Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sunday classes.
That's what I did, yeah.
But now more people are doing 2 3-day weekends because it's much easier for studying, much easier. They don't have such a influx of information they have to remember to take because there's 4 tests they have to take.
Right.
They have to make a 90% on one of them, the rules of the road, and that's the one that most people have the largest difficulty. We're certified by the Coast Guard. We get audited every couple of years by the Coast Guard. They audit all our literature, our teaching, our tests, and everything.
Now, the other thing, you might say, well, I don't need a captain's license. I'm going to be a professional captain. Let me tell you something. First of all, you'll get an insurance discount, okay, on your boat. They'll actually give you an insurance discount if you prove you have a license. Secondly, you will be a better boater, believe me.
Much better. I remember when I got my license years ago, I learned so much stuff in the class, and I said, my God, I've been doing this for 30 years, and I didn't realize I really needed to have a compass. I really needed to have a VHF radio.
And when that electronic chart plotter blows up, you better know how to use a traditional chart
plotter.
They're going to teach you fighting fires. You know the difference between an A, B, and C fire, for instance? You're going to learn all that.
That's correct. We teach you firefighting. We teach you the rules of the road. We discuss with you weather, tides, weather, chart plotting.
So it's a good idea, even if you're never going to use the captain's license. It's going to save you money in your insurance. It's going to make you a better, safer boater, believe me. Now, you have a website if they want to find out more.
Yeah, our website is seaschool.com, SEASCHOOL.com.
Now let me talk to you a little bit about our friends at Plastique or Plasdeck. By the way, what's the difference between Plastique and Plasdeck?
Plastique is the synthetic teak decking. I mean, it's the plastic lumber that we're using for teak replacement on boats. Plasdeck is the synthetic teak decking that we're using on decks of boats.
Okay, now you've got something new going on right here. All these colors.
This is a new process that we've come up with where we're embedding the colors into the decking material, the plastic material. We can make it any logo. If you wanted a compass rose or you wanted a boat name or anything you want on there, we can put in there now.
Yeah, I see you got multicolors here, huh?
Yep, we're adding several different colors. We can take all these colors and put them into one mat if you wanted.
Okay, now once again, for those who haven't watched Pleasure Boater for many, many years, shame on you. Tell us the advantage of Plastique or Plastic.
They're all just no maintenance products. It's out there, it's going to last a long time and look good and not be any problems to you.
Don't need any teak oil or anything, just soap and water.
Just soap and water, exactly, and long lasting.
And it doesn't turn gray.
Correct. You have to buy the gray color if you want it gray.
Right. Or if you know anything about teak, it turns gray, it gets dull, it fades in the sun. You got to keep using teak oil on it.
That's right. And it's it's getting more scarce out there. It's hard to get good teak, so this is definitely a great replacement for it. The plastique part is a recycled plastic, so we've, putting it out there again and just no maintenance.
And I know a lot of people who have actually had teak like cockpits on a sport fisher boat that have replaced it with Plastic for the simple reason they're tired of doing the teak oil.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Teak decks typically last about 20 years, where this stuff is going to be out there with a lifespan of probably 30, 40 years.
Believe me, I know. I've put it on my boat, folks, and it really works. Check it out. What's the website?
Plastique.com or plastic.com.
This week's nautical knowledge question is, what is another name for the underwater vertical dimension of a craft?
On this product profile, we want to talk about Neptune Skin. You have a cell phone, everybody's got a cell phone, but can you go in the water with it, in the swimming pool, in the ocean, in the shower, anything at all? You can now. Look how easy this cell phone fits down into the Neptune Skin. Once it's in there, it closes together with a very powerful magnet. Now, it comes with this lanyard. You can hang it around your neck. Comes with this connector right here, but optionally, you can also buy a float so it won't sink, or this wristband right here. Learn more at neptuneskin.com. New from Shadowcaster.com, it's the SCY40. This is specially made for yacht. The 40 stands for 40 LEDs that they have. It's available in the Bimini blue, the white, or the one that changes colors. It only has one hole to drill into your transom to mount this. In addition, Shadowcaster still features the 3 traditional sizes of LEDs. Also, they change color, available in 4 different colors, and the ones that go on trim tabs. All of that from Shadowcaster.com.
The answer to this week's nautical knowledge question, what is another name for an underwater vertical dimension of a craft? It's called the draft.
Welcome back aboard Pleasure Boaters. I moved down to the tent right here. Going to show you how to have clean air and odorless air in your boat. This is sensational. Jan, show me what we have right here.
It targets all the areas on the boat that produce stale air and odors, and it simply just vacuums them up, and then it vents them overboard. And because you're introducing continuous ventilation in those compartments, you're helping to control your moisture and your mildew buildup.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. Now, we're a little bit more complicated over here, okay? Tell us exactly how this works. This goes in your air conditioning duct system. What does it do?
It contains a UVC non-ozone producing light and a coating of titanium dioxide. What that does is it produces photocatalytic oxidation. In layman's terms, it's killing anything that's running through there, your bacteria, your viruses, your mold, and your mildew.
Here's another way to clean the air up. Tell me what's happening here, Jan.
This is our Germinator series. It's also a UVC light system, but it's a little bit different. Here you have your intake manifold. This is a 270 cubic feet per minute motor, and this is your disinfection chamber. We're running a 12-inch high-intensity UVC non-ozone producing light bulb, and it's surrounded with 3 inches of activated charcoal. So you're actually killing all your mold, your mildew, your bacteria, your viruses, and then you're scrubbing the air as it comes out through the activated charcoal chamber.
So it's another way of doing that. different ways you can do the same thing. They also have a unique hot water heater in that it's all fiberglass. What it does is take the hot water out of the engine block before it goes in the heat exchanger, runs it through, exchanges the heat into water that you can use for a shower or washing your hands or whatever. By the way, if you're not running the engine, everything's cold, it plugs into ordinary AC power. Check it out at their website, which is right here on your screen.
Pleasure Boater has been brought to you by Chafe Pro, don't dock without it, and by Sea Shield, corrosion protection coatings for marine structures, and by Hustler Power Boats, pound for pound, power for power, still the fastest V-bottoms in the world.
Let me show you a brand new boat with a brand new concept, okay? Anthony, tell us about Barracuda boats. First of all, this one, how big is it?
This boat's 22 feet long from stem to stern.
But it has a lot of room, a lot of freeboard. You've got a cabin down there that you can actually stand up in.
Correct. We've built an innovative boat that nobody's built yet so far. It's a 22-foot flat deck cuddy, which is a center console with a flat deck that you can use up front. You can fish off it, or you can lay cushions out and use it as an entertainment foredeck.
And I notice you have a ladder on the front of it. Why is that?
Well, if you're entertaining up on the foredeck, you have to be able to beach the boat at a sandbar and get everybody off the front so they don't have to swim around to the back of the boat.
Now, you can control everything with a little key fob in your hand?
Yes, everything on the boat is digital switching. If you see here on the dash, you're not going to find a switch, you're not going to find any buttons. Everything is controlled through the C-Zone digital switching system, which utilizes the GPS screen as a control station for the boat.
I notice you got real thick glass right here, huh?
Yes, the windshield is innovative on the boat because it's a full piece of glass. And as you see on the windshield, you're underneath the glass. You're behind the glass. You're not over it. You're looking through it.
Now, you have an entry-level boat over there. It's an 18-footer that's very similar.
Yes, the 18-footer has a lot of similar features in the hull, and the biggest feature that it mimics from the 22 is the low back end and the very high bow.
And you've got a thing I've never seen before. It's kind of a scupper, deck scupper?
Yes, we have a deck scupper on the boat. When most boats take water in the cockpit, they have to drain through small drains. But here you see when you kick this thing back, you could drop 1,000 gallons of water in the cockpit and it's all going to rinse right out through this scupper and drain over the back of the boat in a hurry.
Incredible boats, a whole different concept in how to build family boats. Have a website?
Yes, we have barracudaboats.com, or you can see us on Facebook at Barracuda Boats as well.
Time now for Boat Test, a look at the latest boats from the leading manufacturers. Boat Test, tests you can trust.
Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTest.com, and today we're looking at a bow rider that's part of the SLX premium lineup from Sea Ray. She's called a 250, but she's actually 26 feet 6 inches overall, so plenty of seating is the name of the game. Let's take a look and see how Sea Ray has done. Bow riders are all about seating lots of people, and this 250 SLX is fitted out with the optional max seating plan that will hold 12 people by my count, so don't be shy about bringing friends on board. The upholstery is ultra-soft marine-grade vinyl and included custom embroidery, all secured with double-stitched Tenera thread. Even the dash panels are upholstered, and note they're dark to knock down the glare on the windshield. Snap-in carpeting is standard, and of course there's storage under all the seats. Bow seating is in the conventional layout, but there are some differences in the functionality. For example, there are headrests, and they're fabricated out of higher-density foam, and upholstered armrests are to either side. Recessed areas in the bulwarks house the double drink holders and speakers with stainless grills. Entertainment venues continue at the stern. First, the transom walkthrough has courtesy lighting and is on the center line, which is a break from what we normally see. It has a retro look that makes it appear as if the boat has twin engine boxes instead of a single engine. Let's move to operations. Sea Ray has gone with a helm that replaces the standard SmartCraft gauges with gauges from Furia that still include selectable information. Switches support all have guards to prevent accidental activation. A stereo remote is included, and it controls the premium stereo to port that includes 6 weatherproof speakers and has Bluetooth functionality. The helm seat is the same as the Observer's and includes contoured padding and a flip-up bolster. A switch at the helm raises the engine hatch, leaving just enough room for easy daily checks. Sea Ray installs a single 5.7 300 horsepower Merc Cruiser 350 mag ECT with Bravo 3 lower unit as standard power, with a 380 horsepower 8.2 mag ECT Bravo 3 as an option. We tested the 250 SLX with standard power and recorded a top speed of 46.8 miles per hour, burning 24.2 gallons per hour, which produced a range of 131 miles. We found a best cruise setting of 3,500 RPM and 28.3 miles per hour, where our test boat burned 8.7 gallons per hour for a range of 220 miles with a 10% reserve. The 250 SLX comes standard with hydraulic trim tabs, which I find are only needed if weight distribution is out of balance. For BoatTest.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.
This week's product profile is on the Boat Loop, a new product from RS Marine. How does it work?
The Boat Loop is a device to make docking simple, to take the stresses out. So instead of tossing a line to the dock or reaching dangerously over the edge of your boat, this allows you to extend it out and then reach the dock from further away. So we've got 3 different sizes. There's a 2 to 4 foot, a 3 to 6 foot, and a 4 foot to 8 foot.
And if you want more information, go to their website, rsmarine.com. This week's product profile is about Checkmate and Hustler boats. You just bought Checkmate. How big a boat do they make?
18 to 30 foot.
Okay, and I understand the striping and graphics in the gel coat.
Right, that's all done in the mold prior to laying up the glass.
They have outboard engines, but now inboard you have Hustler. How big a boat do you make there?
Okay, we go from 28 feet all the way up to 50.
50 feet. And those are inboard motors with a lot of power. How fast?
About 150 miles an hour.
You want more information? You got a website?
HustlerPowerBoats.com.
Welcome back to Pleasure Boater. It's time for our Yacht of the Week. This week we tour a Beneteau Swift 50. Now let's join our tour guide, Captain John Wentz from BoatTest.com.
The Swift 50 is designed to be a happy compromise between a slow-moving displacement trawler and a high-speed motor yacht. Our test shows that Beneteau has succeeded in its goal, as her twin 435 horsepower IPS 600 diesels powered her to 21.6 knots top speed. More importantly, perhaps, is the fact that she gets about the same fuel mileage from 13.8 to 21.6 knots, which means the skipper can go as fast as sea conditions permit without paying a penalty in fuel consumption. Boaters wishing to go displacement speeds will run the boat from 1,500 to 1,800 RPM, where we traveled from 6.5 to 7.4 knots, burning from 4.8 to 7.85 gallons per hour, giving us a range from 770 to 540 nautical miles with a 10% fuel reserve. The Swift 50 is also designed to make living aboard comfortable. That's accomplished by her functional main deck, galley, salon, and the 3 staterooms below. From her flying bridge with relatively high bulwarks to the curved overhang above her side decks, round retro port lights, teak cap rail, and the swept-back grille on her air intakes, the Swift 50 is both practical and stylish. But the most distinctive of all is her huge, rounded windshield that surrounds the front of her pilot house and creates terrific visibility for the skipper. Going forward to the bow, I can see that the hardware was made for serious cruising. The large bow cleats, raised platform, and windlass make anchor handling easy. Walking along the port side deck, I noted that it was 15 inches wide and the height to the cap rail was 29 inches. The starboard side deck measured 22.5 inches wide because here we have the sliding side door and a boarding gate for boarding from a fixed pier. The most handy way to board from a floating dock is by the swim platform, and it's just 3 steps up to the aft deck. The aft deck is protected from the wind and spray by a door on the starboard side. The neatest thing on the aft deck is the optional joystick docking station, which makes backing into a slip a snap. Inside, the lower helm has room for 2 multifunction nav screens. Most engine diagnostics are on the Volvo Penta digital panel. The joystick and the redundant bow thruster controls are behind the throttles next to the side door where they should be. But the most glorious aspect of the Swift 50 helm is her panoramic windshield that stretches all across the front of the boat and down the port side. I've never seen anything quite like it. Note the narrow mullions, the 3 windshield wipers, and the 2 defrosters. There's 74 inches of headroom by the helm. To port of the helm is a 2-person booth dinette for morning coffee. And the table breaks down to make a sea berth so the skipper can grab a few winks when making a long passage at night. The helm on the flying bridge has virtually all of the instruments and controls as at the lower helm, and the visibility is even better. The engine room is accessed through a hatch in the aft deck. Below, there isn't standing room, but the crouch isn't too bad. Here you see me outboard of the starboard engine. Note the location of the dipstick. The sea strainer is forward. The optional generator is on an aluminum stand between the engines, and a single Raycor filter is attached to the aluminum fuel tank. A lot of optional equipment is packed into this small engine room, but everything is tidied. Because of the IPS drive, the Swift 50 really shines around the dock. The 3 control positions allow the captain to find the best sight lines for any docking situation. I'm not a big fan of slow trawlers that are limited to, say, 8 knots. By having a turn of speed available, the skipper can often outrun a nasty storm or a cranky child. In either case, the available speed can make for a much more enjoyable boating experience. So that's our test and review of Benetow's Swift 50. For BoatTest.com, I'm Captain John Wenz.